Thank you, Madam Soumya, for that introduction. And I am happy to be the chairman for this today's function. It was a privilege talking to most of you, asking you to come for this conference and highlighting what is going to happen today. And I am a passionate refrigeration cold chain man. My entire career has been in refrigeration and in cold chain. After my engineering, I joined the Copeland company as an application engineer. Hence, I had hands-on experience on the systems, applications, compressors, manufacturing, testing, everything around the systems and the equipments. That is my background, after which I started this business. And now for the last 39 years, I run this company, Fridjot, which I started. And we are distributors and importers for many of the reputed products in the market, especially the Copeland Private Limited products. We import from various locations. They have about 27 factories in the world, situated across the globe. So we import from all those countries, store it here, and then distribute for South India. So every air conditioning, refrigeration, or a cold chain customer, contractor or an assembler is our customer. So wherever is your cooling, our product is there. It may not come directly to you, it is through business to business. It may come through Blue Star, Voltas, Carrier, or any of the refrigeration companies. So this is my background. And when I speak about refrigeration and cold storage, I would like to speak a few words about the evolution of this line. Refrigeration, air conditioning. So refrigeration, air conditioning. The moment you hear that, you hear food industry. You hear about pharmaceutical industry, breweries, soft drinks, and all those which are related to food and medicine. When we look back, about 40 years back when I started this line was in its very nascent stages. Mostly people used to grow vegetables in their own house, on the backyard, and urbanization was very less. Almost 80% of the people were living in the villages. Now with the industrialization of the country and urbanization, there is a mass movement of people from the villages to the cities. And cities have become large conglomerations of people. And when there are people, they require food, they require vegetables, fruits, fish, chicken, and lot of eatable items. So there is no place in the cities to grow this. All these are grown in the villages. In the villages, you see farmers. There are people who look after the cattle, the milk industry, dairy industry, ice creams. All these are happening in the villages. And once it is happening in the village, it has to be transported. Now for transporting this produce, you require transport refrigeration and large cold storages. So this is called as, this transportation of material from the village to the city consuming center is called as farm to fork. That means from the farmer's farm to the table where you have your food. So this industry requires a lot of transport vehicles, cold storages for storing it, processing it, packing it, and then sending to Big Bazaar or Food Bazaar or Reliance stores, wherever it is. So it is a long process, and this calls for a great development in the food chain industry. Now people are, over a period of time, we are seeing India is becoming a richer country. We have become the 4th largest economy in the world. People are earning a lot of money. There is money in the pocket of people. This again leads to consumption of food, consumption of beverages, ice cream, milk products, so everything. There is a huge boom in this industry. Now second, if I come to the refrigeration industry, if I see the pharma industry for storing the medicines, vaccines, blood banks, all these require refrigerated rooms. In the year 1947, can you just tell me what was the life expectancy of an Indian? A very guess.
40 years.
Okay. I think you are very near to the reality. The reality is 32 years. In 1947, the life expectancy of a person in India was 32 years. And actually about 20% of the children were never seeing their 10th year. They used to vanish before the 10th year. But over a period of time, because of the medicines, what are there? Today, every disease you name, there is a medicine. So the life expectancy of people have been increasing. Today, the life expectancy in India is an average 72 years. So from 32, we have come to 72. That means 40-year increase. But with this increase in life expectancy, the consumption of medicines, vaccines, blood and all have shot up like anything actually. With every 10-year increase in the life expectancy, the consumption of medicines increased by 25% compared to the existing. And I am sure in the next 10 years, India's life expectancy is going to reach 80 years. So you can imagine the amount of growth that is bound to happen in this industry. Cold storages and refrigeration. The industry is doubling every 4 years. That means it's growing at a compound rate of about 18 to 20%. This is the growth in this industry, refrigeration, air conditioning. And exports is another major industry, that is a major industry in India. This again calls for storages. India is the #1 producer of milk products, milk and milk products. We are the #2 producer of food grains. We are the #2 fishing, a country which does fishing, the volume of fish. So likewise, we are within the top 5 in many of the commercial products. And our rate of growth is very high, again in the agriculture also. So this also calls for a huge development in the infrastructure, in the cold storages and in the refrigeration. So this line is going to have great future, and I think all of us are in the right target. Now when I come to the cold storages or refrigeration, this kind of a development has come to the second point. It is calling us to automate this business and have a proper monitoring system. Now I will explain what we mean by monitoring. Now apples are stored for 6 to 8 months. They have to be stored at a temperature of 4 degrees throughout. But there is a possibility somewhere in between the power has failed or the machine has failed and it was not working for 2-3 hours. Then what happens is the storage temperature increases. It suddenly shoots to 15-20 degrees. But if the storage temperature shoots up, the quality of apple deteriorates. There will be inner decay inside the apple. After that 4 hour, 5 hour, again it may come back to 4 degrees. But that temperature, 15-20 degree temperature for about 4-5 hours has deteriorated the quality of apple. And the same happens in fish, chicken or ice cream, milk or any product actually. If there is a variation in the temperature, the quality of the product deteriorates. Hence, this has called for a monitoring system. Today there are hundreds of companies which are in the line of monitoring the temperature, monitoring the humidity inside the rooms, and it has to be very precise. In fact, when we export food grains from India, or you export vegetables and fruit from India, along with the consignment of the vegetables or fruit, they also ask for a chart of temperature and humidity. At every half an hour, the humidity and temperature has to be measured, and the chart has to be given along with the container of vegetables and produce. So that is the importance of the monitoring systems. Hence, there are a lot of companies today in the market which are in the monitoring. So they are also growing along with this. So these are the types of growth what are happening in the industry. And when I come to the latest one, I think all these days we were not bothered much about our environment or what is happening, what will happen to our future generation. So this has called for the invention of sustainable growth. Sustainable growth in refrigeration and cold chain industry. The present, you can see most of the companies, they're all very much concerned about the environment. Now if you go at the refrigeration gases, they used to release some poisonous gases which used to cause cancer on the human skin. Now that has been banned. So likewise, there are many gases which contribute for increasing the temperature in the environment. Hence, we are looking for low GWP gases, means global warming potential. So the new type of refrigeration gases which are coming are helping to sustain this universe or this world where we are living. So in every place it is happening. And the second, if you look at carbon, carbon is one more thing which is not good for the environment. So to help in reducing the carbon imprint on this world, what companies are doing, they're going for higher efficiency machines. If you look at the compressors, today we have scroll compressors, which are supposed to be the best in the line. They are the most efficient. And then we have inverter compressors. Inverter compressors vary the speed of compressor according to the need of the room or the hall. So thereby again reducing the consumption of power. So by reducing the power consumption of power, we are reducing the consumption of electricity. By reducing the consumption of electricity, we are reducing the consumption of fossil fuels like coal or water or whatever is required for generating that power. So thereby we are reducing the carbon which is released for the environment. And the total purpose of this is to ensure we have a sustainable planet for our future generations, for our children and grandchildren to live safely in this world. So today we are going to speak about all these topics. We have the experts from the line. We are having experts who will speak on environment, on the climatic chambers. This is another a slightly newer line of activity which has again great future. Climatic chambers. For testing any equipment you require that. So we are going to give an introduction to various opportunities available and how we are going to control the environment by sustainable growing. And in this it's going to be an interactive session. Any doubts you get, you can always ask us. And together, let us join our hand and go ahead. And I wish all of you a best future in this line and next speaker. Thank you. Thank you very much.